Alright, let's do this. You know, we got to put content out for the viewers. Oh, by the way, hello viewers. Me again, you again. Another beautiful day. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good or excellent. Yep. Alright, what do I got for you? Listen to this. This for you AMD nerds. So it says here, Radeon software for Linux dropping AMD proprietary Opengl Vulkan driver. They're not dropping it. The title might say they're dropping it, but they're not really dropping it. I'm gonna explain to you what this title really means. I did a video on this earlier, but then it came to me what they really meant. Alright, listen to this. It says here, with how well the open source and upstream AMD Radeon Linux graphics driver stacks is these days between mainline Linux kernel and Mesa, the Radeon software for Linux package driver releases are not usually notable these days on Phoronix. I'll explain to you. It says the package Radeon software for Linux driver haven't been popular with gamers and enthusiasts in years, given how good the upstream support is, and those package bits mostly useful for those just running enterprise Linux distribution with older version of Linux and Mesa. But the next Radeon software for Linux package driver release is set to introduce a big change. It says here the Radeon SI Opengl driver has been in superb shape for the past decade. Now, while the proprietary AMD Opengl driver has used on Windows has been available as an option with the Radeon software for Linux, the proprietary Vulkan driver used on Windows and derives from the open source AMD VLK driver codebase has been AMD's long preferred Vulkan driver on Linux. But the next major Radeon software for Linux release branch, those proprietary options are going away. It's not going away. I'm going to explain to you what it means, what it really means. It says here, last week AMD released a Radeon software for Linux 25.10 package driver release that updates itself easily. Isn't too excited for enthusiasts / gamers given the above explanation, but a Phoronix reader pointed out an interesting nugget with the release notes. The proprietary Opengl and Vulkan driver component are going away. No, it's not. Says here the 25.10 release notes mention, consistent with AMD commitment to open source software, we will be making the following changes to the composition of the Radeon software for Linux release. Starting with 25.20, the Mesa Vulkan driver will be officially supported, along with Mesa Opengl and multimedia support. The AMD proprietary Opengl and Vulkan driver will no longer be included in the release. I'm going to explain it. It says here, both the Opengl and Vulkan proprietary driver are to be removed from Radeon software for Linux driver package in favor of Mesa. Most exciting from this is that the Mesa Vulkan driver RADV will be officially supported. Mesa RADV has long been the community Radeon Vulkan driver developed by Red Hat, Google, Valve, and others. It's been the unofficial driver, albeit what is shipped by Linux distribution out of the box, more widely used than the AMD VLK open source driver, alternative to proprietary derivative that has been shipping with Radeon software for Linux. Says here, this is a great win and could be argued that it's long overdue or change for AMD to get solidly behind their Mesa driver. The release notes mention that AMF will also no longer be introduced, with users encouraged instead to target the video acceleration API within Mesa for their multimedia accelerated needs. And we got 32 comments here, and they let loose in this comment section. But what this really means, what this article really means is this: Because when I did a video on this earlier, then I was thinking a whole lot, but then it came to me now what it really means. What this article really means is this: it doesn't mean that they're getting rid of it. It means that it's under the hood of our Mesa. They're still gonna need it. You know, they're still gonna need it. Going down the road, but Mesa, along with Rad V, they're gonna be front and center. You know, so it doesn't mean that AMD is getting rid of anything. It's just under the hood. You know, it's still there. It's still there. You know, it would be like what who could I think of here? Like when Microsoft, like every time they come out with a new Windows operating system, you might think that the program that they so-called remove is gone. No, it's not gone. It's still there. It's just under the hood. You know, so AMD is doing the same thing here in this article, and one of the commenters also brought this up, made a mention of this, and this was Shivi. Let me see if I can find this comment here. He said this. There's about 32 comment. No, Skeevy said this: if y'all download the installer and read the user/bin/AMD GPU install script, you'll see that all they did was change the default to use Mesa option, and that you can still run it and install AMD VLK and AMD VLK Pro. They both still exist, meaning that they're under the hood, and their packages are hosted on repo.radeon.com for the latest Radeon release. So basically, they're not getting rid of anything. They're just, like he said, if y'all download the installer and read. Now you see why I read these articles, you know, and read the user/bin AMD GPUs install script. He said you will see that all they did was change the default and use the Mesa option, and that you can still run it. But what he's really saying, what he's really saying is that AMD VLK is under the hood. It's still there. You can still use it, whether VLK or the VLK Pro. It's still there. You just you still have access to it. It's just under the hood, meaning that you got to go to Radeon.com to get it. So AMD might make some changes, and usually when they make changes within the Linux community, and they're trying to focus on something new, the program that was like that they might be using, and they're thinking about replace, it doesn't mean that that program is gone. It's under the hood of what they're really trying to focus on, and you still can get there. So yeah, so that's all this means. So so you Linux users, don't stress yourself out. You know. That's why you got people like me and Skeevy to help you guys out, you know, to let you know that, you know, just because they say they're replacing the what's this? Where is it? They're replacing let's see here. Where is it? The AMD VLK. Just because they're replacing it doesn't mean that it's actually gone. They still need it. It's just under the hood of what they're trying to do now. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, no Star Wars and such a thing. Board, Dark Side. Gone. Peace.